morning. How are you this morning?
Fine.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay, my name is Natalie Henshilwood, and I'm excited to share my extensive knowledge and passion about home warranties. Can you believe it? I'm passionate about home warranties. So my number is 281-799-9942. Don't hesitate to call me with any questions that you may have. I'm always available for my customers and clients. So at Allied, we believe one of the most important characteristics of a great salesperson is always being there for your client no matter what, especially if things go wrong. So at Allied, one thing's for certain, when your client moves into their new home, they've just gone to war with Murphy's Law. And anything that can go wrong will, so it's always great to have a good Allied on your side. So one of the questions that I always like to ask agents is, why were home warranties created? So, John, do you want to try that one out?
Yes, I would say to keep real estate agents from getting sued.
Excellent. Okay, so most of the the camera's making me really nervous.
Sorry.
I won't look into it anymore. So one of the reasons why home warranties were created is to reduce the realtor and seller's liability risk if something were to go wrong once the keys were handed over. Home warranty protects you and your seller. So all of the companies, most of the companies are based out of California. Okay, there's some out of Utah. I think Illinois, HWA is out of Illinois, 210's out of Denver. We're based out of Houston, Texas. But the rest of them are based out of California. So I always call that the land of the sue happy. And basically, you know, people were getting sued after the keys were handed over, okay? So home warranty protects you guys, okay, against liability. So at Allied Home Warranty, we offer a free seller's policy during the listing period, okay? This makes you look like a superstar in your listing presentation, and it costs the client $0. So a recent study done on 11,000 random homes showed that a home with home warranty sold 15% faster and at 2.2% higher. So my question to you is, especially since you've been an agent for a while, how long have you been putting home warranty sellers policies on your?
Oh gosh, it started back shortly after I got my license. They were a little harder to sell then because they were newer.
Right.
But yeah, you always try to get the seller to buy one. Back then it was a good selling point because everybody didn't have one.
Right. Okay. So, but I'm talking about the free sellers policies on all your listings. So
the free sellers policy.
Right. So on all your listings, you guys should be putting free sellers policies on your listings because they're free.
Free to who?
They're free to the seller. Go ahead, John.
So it's Frank.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why do I keep calling you John?
I don't know. Well, maybe there's a good-looking guy in your life named John. I don't know.
Sorry, Frank.
How do you make money on that? Because we can't force the buyer to purchase an Allied home warranty at closing.
Okay, so all home warranty companies, and I like to speak in generalities for all home warranties. So all home warranty companies offer free sellers policies to their clients. Our hopes are that, first of all, it puts a history on the property, okay? So that when it does convert to the buyer side, there isn't going to be a waiting period, okay? Because you have a history on the property. Obviously, it's got an inspection report, so then when it goes over to the buyer or transfers over to the buyer, there's a history, okay? So also, you know, it's a marketing strategy, right? If there's already, you know, one on the seller side, we hope that it would continue over to the buyer side. So it's a marketing strategy as well. So we would hope that, like, say we save you on the seller side, you as the seller's agent would say to the buyer's agent, hey, listen, we have XYZ home warranty. This can be carried over onto the buyer's side.
And you want the buyer to pay for it?
No.
Well,
The seller to pay for
Contribution.
it as a contribution, that you tell the buyer's agent, hey, listen. So like, for example, on our home warranty, okay, it's the buyer's choice, but the seller's paying for it, okay? But on our home warranty, what we offer the buyer is we offer free rekeying at close. So when they close with us, okay,
that's awesome.
we offer free rekeying, no service charge. So it's $0, 6 locks, 4 sets of keys. Everybody rekeys at close. So that's something that's advantageous that we offer. Now, on our seller's policy, we don't have an HVAC upcharge of $50. A lot of the other home warranties do. Like I know HWA does, I know Old Republic does. You know, so you need to look at the different home warranty policies because they'll have a free seller's policy, but it won't include HVAC.
Well, I've never heard of another company with a free seller coverage.
They all have them.
Well, they don't all have them. I know.
Like Old Republic has it, HWA has it, First
I'm totally
American has
confused.
it.
I've used Old Republic seller coverage and we pay for that. It's like $75.
Well, okay, well, they don't have free ones, but they have them.
They have seller's coverage, yes.
Right. So if you look on the back here, let's just go over the seller's policy really quick since I brought that up. So on a seller's policy, this is what comes with the seller's policy. So it covers plumbing, electrical, appliances, cooling, and heat. The standard appliances that are covered on the seller side are the microwave, the stove, the dishwasher, the kitchen disposal.
Where are you reading, Natalie?
I'm just reading it.
You're reading this,
I'm just telling you what it includes.
oh, it's not here in the manual?
Well, it says plan, $60 service fee claim, is that what you're reading, air conditioning?
No, I'm just reading it off my head because I know what it comes with.
Okay.
So those are just the standard things. So on a seller side, you cannot add upgrades. So this is just basic, I'm telling you basic stuff for all home warranty companies. You can't add pool spa to a seller's policy.
Okay.
You can't add anything to a seller's policy, except for, obviously, people will add HVAC, right? But ours includes HVAC. So, and it's totally free. So again, you guys should be putting free seller's coverage on all of your listings because it saves liability risk for the broker, yourselves, and your clients. And it is free. So, do you guys have any questions about that?
I would like, if you have it, I mean, what you're saying is very exciting to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna start doing that, but I would like a written description of what services are provided, so I could share that with the seller, so there's no misunderstanding.
I have an email template that I can give you on exactly what is covered and that I can send for you
That would be
and
great.
your seller. So, and all that I need to order a seller's policy is I need the MLS number, I need your client's information, like their name, the address of the property, I need their email so I can send them a copy of their policy with their telephone number so if they call in and make a claim, that's recorded, and obviously your information. So we can send you a copy as well, so you'll both have a copy of the contract, that's all I require. And I can send you a template, so if you email me, and my cards are right here, which I will hand out to you right now.
Okay, so this is a free for the sellers while they're under contract, while they're listed in the
Right,
listing
and it's
period.
good for 6 months, and if you need to extend it because you have that multi-million-dollar property that isn't moving, we can do that.
And then when the buyer purchases, somebody pays for the policy.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you know, typically, Brenda, there's a seller contribution for
Right.
a home warranty.
Right.
Now, a lot of times we see this. A lot of times, just recently, we've been seeing that the seller will purchase the home warranty and really transfer it to the buyer at close. Because they're like, we want to get the, so we have these things called good deals. So where they can do tune-ups or move your stuff or clean your carpets. So like when they're moving, they'll have to do certain things. So they'll want to use those things, you know. So they really will purchase it. And then they'll write in the contract, can be like an MLS notes, has current warranty will transfer to the buyer. Because they're going to pay for it anyway,
I've
right?
seen that, yeah.
So they'll just put in the MLS notes, will transfer to the buyer at the sale of the contract. And then sometimes they'll, if it's been on for like a month or two, they might have to do a prorated. So it's 12 months if, you know, whatever, if they're negotiating that.
So just to make sure I understand, they have to go ahead and buy the buyer's warranty if they're gonna get these coupons.
Yes.
Okay, other than the rekey, which you said is free for the buyer upon after closing.
Correct.
Okay.
The free rekeying is a program that we just started, and it's not in this contract, but it is free.
Okay.
And the code is Texas Rekey. It's TX Rekey.
Okay.
So, and I have an email for that too.
Okay.
So, okay. So are there any other questions on the seller side? Because I really do want to answer them if you have them.
When you say it includes HVAC, what's included in HVAC?
Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say that, and everything needs to be in proper working condition at the start of the contract. Let me start off by saying that. So I'm going to give you examples of things that would be covered, okay? Let's say that, I'm sorry, what is your name?
Brenda.
Brenda. Let's say that I'm Brenda's client, okay? So I have gone through inspection, okay? I call Brenda up and I'm like, Brenda, I've just been packing all my bags and my suitcases and boxes, and I've been doing dishes, and the dishwasher's leaking all over the floor. What am I gonna do? Brenda's like, don't panic. Let me call Allied. So I've already gone through inspections, and it's just because I was taxing the dishwasher with all those dishes that it's leaking. So you're gonna be covered for that, because why? You went through inspections, it was in proper working condition at the start of the contract, it's gonna be covered. Sometimes that $300 to $500 makes the difference between going to close and not going to close on a deal. Let me give you another example. Let's say on an AC claim, okay? Let's say that, and I'm giving you real life examples of things that have happened just in the past week. We've gone out to a client's, let me do a water heater example. So we've gone out to a client's place, and their water heater stopped working. And everything was to code, it was properly seated. There was no rust, there was no corrosion, it was covered, okay? Nothing was wrong with it. It had been serviced, so, and there was even a tag showing everything, so that was something that we covered. I'll give you an AC example. So we went, did an AC claim, it clearly had been switched out. It wasn't even the year of the house that was built. So the house was built in 2005. It was a short sale or a foreclosure, I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been a short sale. And it was a 1998 AC unit that was in a 2005 house. It wasn't covered. So, does that help you out a little? Everything needs to be in proper working condition at the start of the contract and serviced.
You say there's an inspection. Does your company do an inspection for the seller prior to
No.
the coverage?
No, but I mean, listen, when our people go out, or anyone goes out, they know if you've had your stuff serviced, okay? Because there's like little tags in there, like when you go in, and they can tell when it's been serviced. Like when they open it up, there's like a little tag in there, so they know who's been in there, that kind of thing. They know if it's dirty. You know, here's an example. People go and get their oil changed, what, 2-3 times a year, right? But they will leave their AC for 10 years, and then they'll be like, oh, it broke down, and they'll expect us to go out and fix it, and it'll be like, well, okay, can you show us where you've had this service? And they're like, well, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They won't service it. So if it's been properly maintained, you have receipts of, you know, what you've done, and if they show us, hey, listen, we've had this serviced a year ago, great. You know, it's gonna be taken care of. If there's a questionable, you know, if we question it, they can be like, oh no, look, I had this done on da-da-da-da. So,
Is that on the seller's?
that's on the
policy?
seller side, yeah,
So that wouldn't necessarily be true for the buyers.
correct.
Well, in the contract, it says AC heating and duct work covers 2 systems, including seasonal tune-ups,
For,
on the one-page contract. Your covered systems and appliances.
yes,
So you could immediately call them for a seasonal tune-up.
yes, seasonal is spring and fall,
And that's covered by the warranty?
yes,
You are kidding me.
no, sir. I actually had an agent the other day, so listen, let me explain something else. So when we see seasonal, we do mean spring and fall. I had an agent the other day call in for a presentation that we went to, and he's going to close, and he's like, hey, listen, I really need this seasonal tune-up, can we do this? I said, okay, sure, but you have to remember, we're in the middle of busy AC season
Right.
and we're 2 weeks out. He wants to use it to go to close. Well, we can call it out and send it to an AC tech, but I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna go to the bottom of that list, okay? Someone with no AC or seasonal tune-up. So we don't make that choice. They go out to the people that don't have AC running first, and then the seasonal tune-up is a lower priority. That's why we always say spring and fall, because during those seasons, we don't have that high. But we try to accommodate all customers, obviously, and all home warranty companies do the same.
No, but that's just really good. I've never seen anybody that covered
I have
a
any-
seasonal.
So as an agent, if you were talking about this program to someone you're gonna list the home to, would you recommend that they do the seasonal tune-up as soon as they sign up for this, so that you don't get in the situation
I mean,
to where
I
their
always-
AC goes out?
I always do that, and I think as an agent, it's always great for you guys to reach out and touch your clients, because instead of calling and saying, you know, you have to have a reason to call people, okay? And as a great lead generator, you can call them every spring and fall, and you can say, hey, listen, don't forget, you can call your home warranty, schedule a seasonal, da-da-da. By the way, do you know anyone getting a divorce that could sell or list their home? You know, anyone that needs to go into a home, I can, you know, just as, you know, instead of cold calling, have a way to call them and remind them that you're doing something else. You know, a lot of agents do this. They might remember that you work for Remax, but they might forget your name, okay? So it's always important, I say, to keep in touch with your contacts and with your clients. So if you have a reason to call them and give them something of value, it's great. So I always say this, be careful how you promote a home warranty. You don't want to give your client the impression that everything is covered, okay? You want to tell your client that the home warranty will dramatically help to minimize maintenance costs. And a home warranty protects against unknown pre-existing conditions and mechanical failures due to natural wear and tear. Home warranties also make sense for people who aren't handy, like my husband, or don't want to worry about tracking down a contractor when they have a problem. Home warranties give clients peace of mind knowing that they're protected. So I want to tell you a story about my husband. His solution for everything is duct tape and crazy glue. Okay? So if you are not handy, this is what home warranties are good for. So what's covered? Can you guys remember the acronym PEACH? Say that with me.
Peach.
PEACH, okay? Plumbing, electrical, appliances, cooling, and heating are covered. So let's say that together, because it's really important that you know when you're offering a home warranty to your client, what's covered. So PEACH, plumbing, electrical, appliances, cooling, and heating. Now, this is basic knowledge for all home warranties because that's what they covered. Usually standard appliances that are covered with all home warranties are microwave, stove, oven, dishwasher, kitchen disposal, which I also call garburator because I'm from Canada, and trash compactor. Who has those? So additional coverages could be the fridge, washer, dryer, ice makers, wine coolers, spa, well, septic. Those are additional things that you can add. A lot of times home warranty companies have packages, you know, that will have that. So a lot of times appliances already come with Energy Star. So I like the fact that our policy has them as add-ons instead of like a package. Does that make sense? So if you are military, a first responder, fire, police, or a realtor, you can have the 120 upgrade for the washer, dryer, refrigerator. So that's important to note too. That isn't in the contract, but that's something I will put in writing and send to you.
Say that again?
The 120 package,
Look on the back of the
That's on the
brochure.
back.
Okay,
it's the washer, dryer, refrigerator combo.
okay.
So we offer that to realtors, first responders, fire, police.
Are you nationwide or just in Texas?
We're just in Texas
Okay,
since 2004.
okay.
We're right down on Post Oak. So one of the most important things that I think about our company is that we don't have increase on renewal. So A lot of times the companies will have increase on renewal. I know for me, my policy that I currently have, which I will be switching over to Allied shortly, it has increased. It started out as $4.95 as a marquee policy, and now I am paying $7.45. And I actually bring it with me and I show people so you know.
Yeah.
And that's who I used to work for.
So when you
So,
say no increase on renewal?
I started at $4.95 and now I'm paying.
Yeah, $7.45. So
So-
the price never goes up?
We have no increase on renewal, so, yeah.
You're
Stays
locked in.
$3.95, $3.95, $3.95, until we have a contract change.
Okay.
So, and we just redid our new contracts, and they'll be coming out between September and December, and the price has not changed on them. So we're $3.95, we're one of the lowest that's around. So I think that's really important to know. When I was selling the other home warranty, I didn't know that there was increase on renewal. And I know a lot of agents would come back and say to me, hey, my client just called me in a year or two, and I was like, I didn't know. So I think that sets us apart, and it's a good selling point.
Mhm.
So let's talk about our good deals. We kind of already went over them, but let's go over them again. So we do have the seasonal tune-ups, so 2 systems for $60. We do say it's seasonal, so it's spring and fall. We also have the termite and pest control. We have the rekeying. It is free, and you might want to write on your paper TX rekey. That code that you can give your client will take away the $60 charge. So it is absolutely free. That's 6 keyholes and 4 copies of the key for your client. Move your stuff. It's a 3-man crew for $89 an hour with no trip fee, and it does include a moving truck.
That's
Client
awesome.
asked me that the other
Yeah.
day, does it include a moving truck? And I said, yes, why wouldn't it? And she said, actually, Natalie, I have another home warranty, and I called and they don't include a truck. And I said, really? Let me call my call center and make sure. I said, does this include a truck? And sure enough, it does. So we also have install a home alarm package, free package with monitoring plan. It comes with Smith Thompson monitoring and clean your carpets. So those are all excellent. I can tell you I've used the alarm system that I have installed in my home currently, clean your carpets, and it's those are really good add-ons because those are all things people have to do when they're moving anyway. So I kind of like
Natalie.
that they have those.
The $60 AC tune-up, but isn't it free? Because it says it's over here, it's included, that's what we talked about?
Well, the $60 fee is the trade call fee.
Oh, okay.
Right, so when you
Okay.
come out, there's a trade call fee and it's $60.
So that's true even on the free rekey for the buyer?
No, the code that I gave you is TX rekey. That takes away the $60, so it's totally free.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting
But the seasonal tune-ups are $60 for somebody to come out to do it.
Yeah,
It's the trade call fee, yeah.
which is reasonable.
Yeah, it's right in line. People usually are like 59, they do the subliminal $59, so. Okay, so I really think the free rekeying is a game changer. I don't think any other home warranty company does that. I mean, they offer the rekeying service, but it's not free.
Right.
So, Allied is also a Texas-based company. We're right off of Post Oak and we're local. I think that makes a difference between your call center, say, being in Chicago or Denver, and it's like 30 below there, and it's like 80 here. Do you know temperature differences? Their call center is closed because they have, I know Buffalo Grove, it was cold and snow blizzards, and here we still had AC problems going on. So I think it's great to have a local call center.
Do you have extra of these that we can share with our clients?
I have a whole
Okay.
stack here and have more coming. So we also have rider signs. But does anyone have any questions about home warranties in general? Just beside my product. You got it all?
I think I understand.
Yeah.
So if I was a client and I was to ask you, hey, what is a home warranty? You got it all, Pat? I want to help you.
Yes, I
Okay.
think so. I think you did a great job explaining this. I'm somewhat familiar with the concept, so.
Right.
But,
I just want you guys to feel really comfortable and ask any of the questions that you want to ask and just kind of, you know, because I know sometimes that, like, my husband's been an agent for 15 years and until I met him 5 years ago, he did not know anything about home warranty. I mean, he thought he did, so I just kind of wanted to go over unknown pre-existing conditions with you guys. So an unknown pre-existing condition. And so unknown is like you can't like see it. So I'm gonna give you explicit examples about that. So let's say we go up in the attic and we see duct tape and coat hangers hanging up the ductwork. That's a known, because why is it known? Right. So you can't do the see no evil, hear no evil with a home warranty if it's unknown pre-existing conditions. So let's go to a water heater, okay? We can't see in the water heater, right? So that would be a unknown pre-existing condition. So a lot of times they'll ask for simple mechanical tests, which you can do yourself. So we're gonna do a simple mechanical test because I really think that's important too. So watch this. So this is a simple mechanical test. Guess what? I turned the lights off. Now I'm turning it on. So what was that? It works. The lights went off, so that's a simple mechanical test. If you put some popcorn in the microwave, simple mechanical test. Ran the dishwasher, things like an inspector would do, simple mechanical test. So I think people kind of know if their stuff is working and if their stuff is not. I always believe honesty is the best policy. If you tell me something's wrong, we're gonna work with your client and try and come up with the resolution to try and fix it. I have my agents call me all the time and say, Nat, we're in a pickle. This is the situation. We'll try and work with your client, get the best cost, do special pricing. You know, you just have to communicate with me and tell me, hey, they have no money. You need to pull me a favor. I need some help on this one. But I need honesty. So I'm gonna give you an example of what a client did to me the other day. I had an agent call me up. She's from Keller Williams, and she said, Natalie, I need a favor. It was a water heater. We looked at the inspection report. The inspection report clearly said it was installed incorrectly. There was code violations, all sorts of things done incorrectly. It didn't even have a pan at the bottom, okay? So we went over it. We came up with a solution, and we explained that to the client. It was only going to cost her a couple $100 out of pocket. She has to pay for the code violation, so I was going to cover her for the water heater, okay? I can't pay for a code violation because we're governed by TREC, okay? They have to bring the code up to standard, and then I can pay for the water heater, okay? Even though it clearly is not a thing, we're doing a favor, right? So anyway, long story short is we're calling I'm trying to just do this cleverly. We're calling the client, right? We're trying to get the receipt, right? So we can pay her out. Long story short, that client decided to install the water heater herself, okay? There's all sorts of problems with that. First of all, it's not to code, okay? So we can never service that unit ever again. Now we can pay her for the water heater unit, but now we can't do anything because, I mean, permits had to be pulled. You have to be licensed to do that kind of thing. There was already code violations. So we always expect honesty. A lot of times it's difficult because the client is trying to communicate with us, like the realtor, and I'm trying to tell them what their client has done. And it's really difficult. So it's really important that we work together as a team. We're always very honest. All of our calls are recorded. We keep very detailed information. Sometimes it's hard, like when you're trying to explain to their client, hey, listen, there's you know, your AC unit in your 2005 house says 1998 on it. You know, your short sale. Some of those are hard calls, but you know, communication is always great. So that's all. And those are just blanket statements for all home warranty companies because all your reps are out there trying to do the best for you.
Let me ask you something. On these added upgrades, the plus 200 and the plus 400, you were just talking about code violations and having to bring something up to code.
Right.
Is that what this covers? Is that what
Right.
that's for? What if, are these available to the seller?
No, you can't add any additional things on the
Okay.
seller's side.
So if the buyer chooses to upgrade,
Mhm.
and then the water heater goes out,
Mhm.
and they go to the attic and they go, well, this isn't to code, then they're covered, at least up to $200 on the first one. Okay.
Mhm. And we've run into problems like that. We've had clients that, they've gone to close on their house, they've had issues right away, and, we've looked at the inspection report and something's been missed, and the inspection report's clear, but it's not to code, so it's not the homeowner's fault, and it's something gone wrong in the inspection, and the inspectors missed it, where we've stepped in and we've allowed them to purchase the product after close, like to help out the client, because it's really, it's like a nobody's fault, kind of thing, like it's not their fault,
Okay,
it went
so-
through, so we've
yeah.
tried to help out the situation.
Okay, so if they have an inspection done, a buyer, this is for the inspector, doesn't pick it up and something goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
code violations, stuff happens all the time, and usually like code violations and access points, like this is really good for older homes, like that were built like in the 80s, that have weird access points, or like cranes. Like, I'll give you an example. So we had a lady that has the Plus 400, and she had to have a crane lift her AC unit, and it was $500 for the crane. So she was $100 out of pocket instead of, because it covered $400 for this. So those are, everyone has a different situation. Like my AC's on the ground, so, but hers is up in the air. So everyone has different situations. So it's kind of hard to tell, each home has a different system kind of thing. So it would really depend. And we ask clients when they're purchasing, we ask them how old is, like we ask questions. How old is your house? Where is your AC? How many units do you have? So we try and ask those questions in advance so we can, and also when you guys give me the MLS number, we go pull it up and we just double check. So
All right, I'm in.
hopefully that answers all your questions.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.